it's really, really exciting to be part of this project. I think Pearl is such a beautiful character who's so full of love and empathy, and also kind of dorky and doesn't really fit in. And I think her story will resonate with a lot of people. It definitely resonates with me. So I adore Pearl. Pearl is very, very special to me. I've gotten to know her for several years at this point and really watched her change and develop as we get new tweaks and edits to the episodes as they come along, and it's just so exciting.
She doesn't start off like full girl boss. She's like, she has vulnerability, she's not sure of herself. She becomes something great in the end, like something really powerful, but instead of like being like Rosie the Riveter, she's like just caring. She's like, she can't help herself to care about these things that no one cares about. And that's just such a cool thing to watch in the show. And we kind of sympathize in a way half with the town. They're like, what is she doing talking to, why does she care about the dishwasher? It doesn't make sense, And so you get kind of both sides of it, I feel like.
We try to not do the first thing you think of because, we knew the main character. We had a cool concept of robots in the Old West. And we needed a main character who, had some interaction to do with mechs. But yeah, we thought maybe a mechanic type would be just, it's kind of the first thing you might think of. So I'm glad we landed on something a little more unique.
I think a big part of what makes Pearl so appealing is that she is so kind of unassuming, and that is a part of her character, and definitely how the town perceives her, and something that Natalie, you have just done so well, like in your, performance of her, is that, and you were speaking about her before, about how she, is so brave because she just does the thing. She doesn't have to know how to like physically kick butt. And in fact, I think, it makes her even more brave that she does just whatever she needs to do, because she doesn't really have, she's not trying to prove anything to anyone. She's just sort of doing her thing.
Of course, one of the reference shows for this is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was in the Kickstarter video and is a show that I love, obviously, and adore as an incredible masterpiece of animation. But something that I think makes Pearl different and that show different is that Pearl is not an action hero at all. She's not going to be able to kick butt, but she is simultaneously so brave, and like her bravery is so deep in the way that she cares for the people in her life and the mechs in her life. Like, she can be so brave for them, even though her natural tendency is a bit of anxiety and kind of embarrassment and feeling a little bit excluded and left out of her community. She can really step up and be strong when she needs to. And I think that makes her really admirable, because it doesn't come easily to her, but she can do it because she's so strong. Pearl feels, again, like a journey that I feel I relate to a lot on a very deep level. But one of my favorite touchstones was in the scenes when she's interacting with Six. I do in my own life a lot of work with kids, so I have a lot of work with young kids, and that kind of came through in that performance. But additionally, I have a cat, a very small cat, who's a mischievous little boy. And it feels like that was a good touchstone for me when interacting with Six, was like imagining my cat doing something cute, or like the same, I imagine that weight of like carrying my cat around. It was a very good like touch point for those interactions. That's what I'm saying. That would be so good. Pearl's outfit is so cute. And I remember even talking to you guys about Pearl's design a while ago when we were just looking at storyboards, and just the level of detail that was in every single part of Pearl's design is so impressive. Like every piece of her outfit, her gloves and the like her boots and the way she wears her hair, like everything is so specific to like this character who's not a mechanic, but who's like a mech, like connects to mechs on an emotional level and not like a physical repair level, which is just like an interesting bent. But I agree, I would love a Pearl Barbie. That sounds awesome. Pearl is one of those special, rare projects where I get to really have a nuanced and deep and complicated character that I get to know and grow alongside. As I've mentioned, I have less experience in the animation world or working on a project like this. But I've loved getting to be part of it for such a long time because it starts to feel like the voice work and the animation is a conversation together. Sometimes I was so excited when we would get storyboards or animatics of like, here's roughly what's happening, and then I would record to that. And then a bit later, I'd be like, all right, here's some tweaks, new things to add, and there would be more animation. So then I would be responding to that animation, and the animators are responding to the voice work. I'd actually love to hear from some of the animators what that process is like on your end. But I loved getting to have that be kind of a two-way conversation where I'm getting information from what the animators are giving us, and at the same time giving my own interpretation and my own insights into what's happening to Pearl in that moment through the performance. So I've loved getting to work on that. I am giddy for new storyboards and animatics. It's my favorite thing.
Someone said earlier in one of the comments that they can't wait for the tie-in show starring the toilet paper mech.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, get to work on that.
Yep.
Well, it does offer so many questions and place to explore, because this world is such a a concept we can kind of connect to. Like, okay, it's Wild West, but it's also these mechs, and there's just so much to explore. Like, this first episode features a bunch of different mechs doing, like various things in this day-to-day life in this small town, but you can just feel the potential. You're like, there's so many more mechs that exist in this world and that can exist in this world that explore all sorts of things. Like, it's really a genius concept that has been executed really, really well in this first episode and then beyond. That just, it makes me so excited to see what mech is coming next.